Hey, my name's Courtney Larn, and this is On That Note. Our featured guest this week is Jim Casson, who is a professional drummer. Jim has performed his whole life with all sorts of bands and musical artists, such as the Rocket 88, the Meteors, and most famously, the Downchild Blues Band. Our host this week, Brandon Marr, will be sitting down with Jim in our studio. So, on that note,
welcome to On That Note. I'm your host, Brandon Marr, and here with Jim. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So I guess my first question for you is, why do you like drums in the first place? Why did you start out?
Why did I like drums? Because I hated piano. I started out playing piano like a lot of kids do.
Right.
And I had a friend of mine, Mike Burkowski, who's another musician out there working, another local guy, guitar player, and we had put together for the grade 6 talent show or something like that. I played piano, he played guitar, and the one cool guy in school was going to come and play drums. My cousin had a drum set, so we borrowed this drum set and brought it over to my house and set it up there, and the cool guy never showed up. So we did this thing, the piano thing, but I started fooling around with the drum lessons, and I was hating my piano lessons. My mother said to me, would you rather take drums instead? And I said, yeah, that would be like way cooler than playing piano.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that, and that's where that started. So, opportunity.
Cool. Have you ever tried guitar, or you just stick to drums?
I fool around with guitar, and that's nice too. I fool around with some tape. I fool around with guitar a little bit, but guitar's always baffled me because I was raised on the piano. Guitar just seems a bit of a foreign instrument, so I play a little bit. My son's taking some lessons and stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I play guitar, but I've always wanted to try drums. It's just too complicated for me, I think. But I don't know.
You get 4 limbs going at the same time.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
I'm not a good multitasker, so yeah. So when you were starting out, were there any big bands or musicians that really inspired you? It was like, hey, I should take this and make a career out of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, the first band, I loved listening to like Elton John and stuff like that. But as far as bands go, Kiss was like the first band that was a huge band for guys my age, and then bands like Rush, and then it evolved into like Yes and Genesis and King Crimson, all those prog rock bands of that era. And but I guess early on, it was like Elton John who really turned me on to doing stuff. And then
did that have to do with the piano, I'm guessing, or did that?
No, I had to do with, in fact, my babysitter used to bring Elton John records to our house when she babysat us.
Oh, really?
And would play it, and so I would listen to it and was liking the songs. And one Christmas I got my first Elton John record. And
nice.
But then soon after that, realized that Kiss was way cooler. When you're in grade 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where that evolved. And the fact that when we started playing together with other, with my friends, put a band together, we could play Kiss tunes because they weren't that hard. We could actually, sit down, drop the needle on the record, listen to a song in an afternoon and figure it out, and be playing it by the end of the afternoon. So that really,
that's cool.
That was kind of neat to be able to pull that off. So.
Have you ever met anyone from Kiss, or ever gotten
Not from Kiss, no. I worked with one of the guys from Rush once, which was kind of fun.
Alex Lifeson.
He played on a recording for a band I was in, and that was kind of cool to hang with him. And I got to do one show with him, which was, I kind of kept pretending I was Neil Peart in my head, but I said I'm not going to play the parts.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, that'd be a really cool experience.
It was fun, yeah.
So we got to go behind the scenes and watch you play a bit and see what you do. So we went behind the scenes to see Jim in the comfort of his own home, doing what he does best, and seems pretty talented. So take a look. back here with Jim. So Jim, you went to Mohawk College and you took a music course there. And some people say that taking a music course in college isn't like taking other academic courses. Do you think that it was useful and like did it help you with your career?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It was probably one of the smartest moves I made. Not only did I learned so much about music, and not just about drumming, about arranging, about composition, about history, but it was the beginning of the networking, where you start to meet with other musicians, and really, when you're a professional musician, you know, talent, luck, all that stuff, but who you know is really vitally important. So when you start to network with those people, and you know, somebody gets a gig, and exactly what happened to me is one of my friends got a gig with a band that was touring around North America, and within a few months the drummer was leaving. They called me up, and that was, you know, as my friend Donnie Walsh used to say, after all that, the rest was geography. You know, 'cause we're all over the place.
So that pretty much got the ball rolling then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so yeah, it was a very, very great experience. And you guys will find that here, that when when you finish your college experience here, that it's people go out into the real world, that they remember, you know, who they're with, and they say, yeah, that guy would be great for this. And
yeah, that's really cool. You played in a band called Clearlight, correct? And it was a Pink Floyd tribute band.
Yes.
What was your favorite Pink Floyd song to perform?
Favorite Pink Floyd song to perform? Man, I don't know. It took me a long time to like Pink Floyd again after playing it for that much. I was a big fan when I was a kid. Money was always fun because it's an odd time signature. There was a song called Run Like Hell, which was a lot of fun for drum-wise. Comfortably Numb was probably a really cool song. It wasn't really great for drumming, but it was a song that everybody liked, and
it's a pretty popular
the great
Floyd
guitar
song.
solo, and the band played it well. So yeah, there was a lot. It was just a fun show.
Cool. You got to meet or play with the great B.B. King many years ago. Is that correct?
I got to meet him. I didn't get to play with him.
Oh,
We
no?
opened for him when I was in Downchild Blues Band. We played at Massey Hall and got to open for him. So playing for Massey Hall was a pretty great experience, just because it's so much history in that building. But then after our show, we were invited back into BB's dressing room to meet with him, and there's a huge lineup of people waiting to meet with him, and they ushered us right past, and we got in there and we're talking, and we got, you know, autographs, and then at one point we'd been there for a few minutes. We said, well, we should leave. There's lots of people. He goes, oh, no, stick around. You guys stay here because we're musicians. We're hanging. They can leave. They can wait, you know, but we hang. So it was really cool. Very what a great guy, and amazing musician. And,
it's reasons like that you go into the business, right? It's just,
well,
to me, I mean,
yeah, because he wasn't a goof. I mean, so many times you can meet, you know, people who are, you know, maybe your idols, and they turn out to be idiots, and it can really, you know, take the shine off it. But I've had really positive experiences with the people I've met. Like you say, I did a thing with Alex Lifeson once, and he was very cool and very fun, and B.B. King and stuff like that. Yeah, really good guys. And those are the guys that stick around. The guys who are idiots generally have a short-lived career.
The ones who know how to handle it.
Well, handling it and just being real, you know, just and not buying into your own hype. That's really important, because it's the people that it's just being a real person that really makes it last in this business.
That's cool. As I mentioned earlier, I'd love to learn to play drums, but I find it complicated. I think everyone should, but Courtney went and took lessons with you, and so take a look.
So Jim, would you like to show me a few
Sure.
things?
I'll show you. One of the things we do when we start playing drums is we learn a few things called rudiments. And rudiments are like, if you're playing piano or learning guitar or something like that, it's like playing a scale. They're basically the kind of thing that you have to figure out before you get into the drum kit, because it makes your hands used to making the movements. Basically, it's right, left, right, right. So you want to try that much? So right, left, right, right. Then you do the opposite.
Bounce.
Left, right, left, left.
Left, left.
Yeah. Then you put them together. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left.
Okay, so right, left, right, left, right, left.
You're a drummer.
Oh, look
Just
at
like
that.
Then you got to get it fast with that.
Oh man.
Excellent.
Well, thank you very much
You're welcome.
for
Thank you.
a little lesson there, and Back
That'll
to you
be
guys.
20 bucks.
No.
And we're back with Jim here. So one of my final questions for you, I guess. Now you've had such a big career. What do you do nowadays? Are you taking it easy, or do you still tour a lot?
I don't tour nearly as much as I used to. I still, when something comes up and it fits into what I need, then yeah, definitely I'll go. I mean, it's different, with I have 2 kids, and part of the idea moving back to Niagara was, to give them a better place, to hang out than to be downtown Toronto. So I like to be local with them. So most of the stuff I do is Ontario based. But a couple years ago I was out touring with the Blues Brothers show across the States, and
Right.
that would be going out for a couple of weeks and stuff like that here and there. Wasn't that intense, like back when I'd be gone for 3 months or something like that. But a little less active than I was. But still, I'm still playing as my full-time job, and I'm still doing 15 to 20, 25 shows a month, sort of thing, depending on how well the phone rings.
Do you find that Canadian fans or States fans are more fun to play for? Do you notice
Playing
a
in the
difference?
States was always an event. I mean, when I first was exposed to that was with the Pink Floyd band with Clear Light,
Right.
and that was a great eye opener, because every time we went down to the States, it was just a huge event. They made such a big deal out of it, and even when I was with Downchild, the same sort of thing. It was a really a big deal. Canadian fans are much more subdued. They don't let loose nearly as much, but they're faithful. They come out in the numbers, but. We're Canadians. We're much more polite and reserved.
Yeah.
So they're both great to play for.
If you could pick like anyone, musician, entertainer, dead or alive, that you could perform with, who would it be?
Wow. I've always loved what Peter Gabriel did and does still to this day.
Right.
Yeah, that would. Peter Gabriel was great. Sting was always another one of that era. I don't know. There's lots of cool bands out now too that are doing interesting stuff. Radiohead's doing some really interesting stuff. I guess no one in particular, but a lot of people would be fun to play with.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank
I
you
really
for having me.
appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And you can check out Jim on his website at jimcasson.com. You can see his touring dates, and you also give lessons. So if you're in the region, you can call him up.
Be sure to tune in next week. We have Lambs Become Lions coming into the studio to talk with our host, Dylan Bowker. It's an interview you won't want to miss, coming live right here from Niagara College. And on that note, thanks for watching. I'm Courtney Larn.